So I wanted to share with you a couple of healthy habits that I personally implemented in my life when we are engineers. The engineering journey of a student and the engineering journey as an employee or employer, if you're an employer as an engineer, it can be very stressful. And a lot of the times when we have a lot of stress, it can affect negatively our mental health. It can affect negatively our relationships that we have with our families. And so if we don't take care of ourselves, then we can get in deep trouble because it can start affecting our performance at work and also in our personal life. So what do we do about this? I have 10 tips here that I wanted to share with you. And so the first one, I think you really all start with working out. Working out, I'm sure you heard it many times, the benefits. And yes, here I am to repeat it, because it doesn't have to be complicated workouts. I think that a lot of times people overcomplicate it. You can go for a walk. You don't have to go deadlift 500 pounds, 600 pounds. And also, when you work out, guys, don't forget to also stretch. A couple of years ago, I injured my knee. And then when I went to the physical therapist to check out my knee, he asked me if I ever stretch. And I said, yeah. And then he said, how often do you stretch? I said, I stretch for about 5 minutes after each workout. He smirked, kind of laughed at me, and then he told me, you need to at least stretch for 15 minutes after each workout. So that's kind of like my rule of thumb nowadays. I stretch between 12 to 15 minutes every workout, depending if it's leg day, even more stretching, because obviously like I'm a little biased because of my knee issue. But definitely work out, stretch, go for a walk, for a run, and then get in that routine. The key, I think, is definitely to get in that routine. That's going to help you with confidence, going to help you stay in a healthy weight, and it's going to help you perform better, not just at work, but also in your life. The second good habit that I think you should definitely implement in your life, whether you're a student or a young engineer in industry, definitely your nutrition. We have to remember that 1/3 of the US population is obese. The food is so good, and no pun intended, it's also engineered. The processed food is engineered to make us addicted, to make us want more. The fat, the sugar, the sodium. Hey, and I'm not someone that is perfect here. So not to mention, like the work that sometimes we have, the long hours that we work, it may encourage the behavior of just eating out. Even if you eat out, you can still make better decisions for yourself. So learn to cook. That's definitely something. I have really basic food, making chicken, sweet potatoes, rice and broccoli. That's really my staple foods with some eggs. Also, like, don't make it complicated, right? Like, that's the main takeaway there. And also, like, have your foods, eat mostly whole foods. That's one of the things that I've learned to do over the years. I still eat out, but if you follow an 80-20, what would you say, an 80-20 distribution, 80% whole foods or even 70% whole foods, I think that if you have a couple of fun foods here and there during the weekends or on a Wednesday or a Thursday, then I think you'll still be okay, just as long as you mostly eat a healthy diet, whole foods, non-processed. The third healthy habit that I want to share here with you today is spending time with other people. I don't know about you guys, but to be honest with you, whenever I spend time with my family, when I spend time with my friends, there's just this positive energy that really, assuming you don't have a toxic relationship, of course, but there is this positive energy that just fills me emotionally. And I just feel better. I get in a better mood. So family and friends, make sure that you spend time with them. Make time. The fourth thing that I want to share here with you, drink water. We are mostly made of water, guys. So drink your water, especially if you're at home, because it's very easy to lose track of the water that you are drinking when you're at home. I'm guilty of this, and so make sure that you definitely do. Some people buy a jug of water that they carry with them throughout the day, and it's like a gallon or a gallon and a half or something like that. So that's something, I guess, that you can be a little extra if you want to do that. But I mean, whatever, just drink your water. Also, number 5, guys, with sleep, I think sleep is definitely important. I personally aim at least 6.5. I think that if you're young, you may get away with sleeping a couple of hours, especially if you're in engineering school. You may be pulling all-nighters. But this is something that is probably going to be that is going to settle within you in the next couple of years as you get older. When you get older, definitely you start paying attention to your sleep a lot more. It's like you need it. And so 6.5 to 7 hours is usually what I have. I know that 8 is ideal, but hey, gotta work with what we have, and that's definitely better than what I used to have for sleep, fewer than 6 hours. Also, number 6, guys, make it a habit to use your insurance to get yourself checked out, especially if you are working all the time, if you're full of stress, if you're not taking care of your health. Make sure that you get yourself checked out annually, quarterly. Talk to your doctors, your dentist, the people that check out your optometrist, ophthalmologist, everyone. Make sure that you are checking the lab values, because those lab values, you want to be able to catch anything that is happening under the hood as early as possible. So make sure you do that. Number 7, control your social media consumption. Unless you're listening to the podcast or watching my videos on YouTube, or but definitely control your social media consumption, especially if you notice that social media is having a negative effect on yourself. I've been there, guys. I know I've had to clean up my feed, for my social media feed, multiple times. I even deactivated my Facebook because it was just like, all right, this is way too much time being wasted. And not only that, but there's just some, you know what I'm talking about. There's just some posts that are just like outrageous, and that's exactly what they're looking for. You know, some posts are really looking to get people outraged. And so I'm not gonna fall in that game, or at least try to control myself so that I don't fall in that game. So I try to avoid such situations by just unfollowing people that post such stuff. Also, make sure that you take a vacation, that you make it a habit every year. For example, vacations are so important, or at least some time to take off for yourself, that for my organization, the top people in our organizations, they are obliged. They have to take 2 weeks off every year. They have to. There's no way out, and they cannot answer to emails, nothing. Like, that's how much of a priority my organization makes it to for people to take breaks and take vacations. And taking breaks and vacations has been scientifically proven to be better for our productivity. If we work in 6 months in a row, that's going to be less productive than if you actually work a quarter or 3 months per se, and then a quarter, and then you take a break, a 2-week break or a week break, and then you work for another 3 months. So definitely make sure that you take a break for yourself, take a vacation. Number 9, almost there. Be grateful and show gratitude. Help when you can. There's a lot of emotional benefits of showing gratitude. It makes us happier, increases our psychological well-being. It enhances our positive emotions. It also may get a little dark here, but it also decreases our like those very dark thoughts that sometimes come to you, and you just want to kind of do crazy things. I'm not sure if I can even say this. It's crazy, suicidal thoughts. There you go. It also improves our relationships with other people. So just be grateful. And I aim at doing this, just writing down 3 things that I'm grateful for every day. Number 10. I aim at writing 3 things that I'm grateful for when I journal. And that's my tip number 10. Journaling is definitely a way to lower your stress, to get your thoughts out. There's a famous saying, I don't know who said this, but when you have too many thoughts in your head, make sure that you write. So that's definitely something that I've been working to make a habit in the last couple of months. I've always been back and forth, but now I'm actually working to make it a habit. And so far it's been great. And you don't have to journal for 30 minutes, for 40 minutes if you don't have to, so just make sure that you understand that you can journal and write out your thoughts for as long as you can. Don't make it a chore, because at that point is when you lose the interest.